The year is 60 CE, and Britain stands at the brink of chaos. The fires of rebellion have swept across the land, fueled by vengeance and desperation. Queen Boudica, the fierce and indomitable leader of the Iceni tribe, has united the fractured Celtic tribes, forging the largest army the island has ever known. 80,000 Britons, men and women, warriors and peasants alike, march with her, driven by a burning hatred of Roman oppression. Their war cries echo across the countryside, a thunderous promise of retribution for the horrors inflicted by the Roman conquerors. London, Colchester, and St. Albans have already fallen to their fury, reduced to smoldering ruins. 70,000 Romans and their collaborators have been slain, no mercy given, no quarter asked. The blood of the oppressors stains the earth, and the scent of rebellion hangs heavy in the air. Across the ravaged landscape, one man stands in defiance. Governor Gaius Suetonius Paulinus, a veteran of countless campaigns, commands a mere 10,000 Roman soldiers, legionnaires hardened by years of war, auxiliaries loyal to the eagle, and a handful of cavalry. Outnumbered 8-1, their situation is desperate. Yet within their ranks burns the iron discipline of Rome, a force forged through centuries of conquest. These are not mere men. They are the inheritors of the Roman legion's legacy, the most feared fighting force of the ancient world. The armies converge at Watling Street, a narrow corridor flanked by dense forests and marshland, chosen by Paulinus for its tactical perfection. Here, the vast Celtic horde cannot envelop the Romans. Here, discipline and formation can triumph over chaos. The Britons assemble, a living sea of fury, painted in woad and bristling with swords, spears, and chariots. Their banners flutter in the wind, adorned with wild beasts and ancient symbols of their tribes. The Roman line is a wall of shields and steel, silent and resolute, awaiting the storm. Boudica rides before her warriors, her fiery hair streaming behind her like a comet. Her voice rings out, a call to vengeance that stirs the hearts of her followers. These men and women have lost everything, their homes, their families, their freedom, and now they seek to reclaim their honor with Roman blood. The ground shakes as the Celtic host surges forward, a tidal wave of flesh and iron. Chariots rumble, horses scream, and the Britons charge, confident that sheer numbers will crush the Roman invaders. But the legions do not falter. Shield locked to shield, swords poised, the Romans stand as one. Paulinus's voice cuts through the din, commanding order amidst chaos. The first wave of Britons crashes into the Roman line, met not with panic, but with cold, calculated violence. Pilum javelins arc overhead, piercing flesh and splintering shields. The front ranks of the Britons buckle, impaled and torn. The second wave surges, only to meet the unyielding wall of scuta shields and gladius blades. Here, on this blood-soaked battlefield, Roman training reveals its savage brilliance. The legion fights as a machine, each man knowing his place, each movement drilled into muscle and bone through years of brutal discipline. The Britons, wild and fierce, lack cohesion. Their courage is undeniable, but their formations dissolve beneath the relentless Roman advance. While enemies flee in terror, these warriors stand their ground, cutting down all who come within reach. Boudica herself plunges into the fray, her chariot weaving through the melee as she urges her warriors onward. The air is thick with screams and the clash of steel. Mothers, wives, and children have joined the ranks, desperate to avenge their stolen lives. Roman blades carve through the crowd, sowing terror and confusion. The narrow battlefield now turns against the Celts. There is nowhere to retreat, nowhere to maneuver. The press of bodies becomes a trap, and panic spreads through the Celtic host like wildfire. Paulinus sees his moment. He orders his legionaries to press forward, driving a wedge into the heart of the enemy. The disciplined Roman formations contract and expand with deadly precision, slicing through the Britons like a scythe. The auxiliaries and cavalry sweep around the flanks, cutting off escape. What happens next shocks even hardened veterans. The British line collapses. Warriors who had once believed victory was certain now find themselves surrounded, cut down in droves. The forest and marshes become a slaughterhouse as Romans hunt down survivors with grim efficiency. By nightfall, the battlefield is a charnel house. Bodies lie stacked like cordwood, the blood of 80,000 Britons soaking the soil. Boudica herself vanishes from history, her fate shrouded in legend. Some say she poisoned herself, refusing capture. Others claim she fell in battle, defiant to the end. The Roman losses are minimal, a testament to their tactical genius and unbreakable will. The Celtic rebellion is shattered, its spirit broken. For 3 centuries, no British force would dare challenge Rome so openly again. The legacy of Watling Street is carved in terror and awe. How did 10,000 Romans defeat 80,000 Celtic warriors in Britain's bloodiest battle? It was not just steel and discipline, it was the art of war, perfected by centuries of experience. Roman tactics triumphed where brute force failed. The phalanx and testudo, the precise deployment of troops, the ruthless exploitation of terrain, these were the secrets that turned certain defeat into legendary victory. Yet, beneath the triumph, there remains a haunting question. What drove ordinary Britons to rise against the world's greatest military power? What courage compelled mothers and sons to march into battle, knowing the odds? The story of Watling Street is not merely a tale of conquest. It is a saga of resistance, of a people fighting for their land and freedom against impossible odds. Boudica's name endures, a symbol of defiance that echoes through the ages. As the Roman eagles soar over a subdued Britain, the blood of the fallen stains the empire's legacy. The fields of Watling Street whisper of valor and tragedy, of the day when the fate of a nation hung by a thread, and the disciplined heart of Rome beat back the fury of an entire people. The brotherhood of the legion stands eternal, forged in the fires of battle. The Celtic warriors, though defeated, become legends whose spirit would not die. And so the question remains, can any force, no matter how massive, overcome the relentless discipline and tactical genius of the ancient world's greatest army? What secrets did the Romans carry from that day? And how did their victory shape the destiny of an island on the edge of the world? The answers lie buried with the dead, waiting for those brave enough to seek them, in the shadow of Watling Street, where empires were forged and legends were born.